Why aren't you creating video content?
Indeed.
So welcome to the next edition of the Professional Practice Builder Society monthly public webinar. Mark, what are we talking about today?
Well, we're talking about the fact that, video is obviously a really powerful thing on the web, but we know full well that there's some real barriers, and that even though everyone should be creating video, there's problems standing in people's way. And we're going to break it down into skills, equipment, and time, basically, that it takes.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, and in the end, in addition to skills, equipment, and time, we're going to cover 4 main bullet points. As you can see, I threw them up here on the screen for you. So once again, I'm not going to go ahead and read them. I'm just going to kind of summarize them for you a little bit. Yeah, paraphrase. That's it. Since anyone can create video, why aren't you? Okay, yeah. So I read the first one. You trying to create video the hard way? How about live streaming video? You know, it's a game changer and the fastest and easiest way to create great content. We're going to show you that later on. So Mark, let's go ahead and get started.
Indeed, let's get started. So, you should be creating video. Lots of people are creating video. Like it or not, people are not reading nearly as much, and even though, the web is still a pretty word-based place, people want to consume information easily, effectively, rapidly, and especially on small screens, the video hops off the page. So if you're not creating great video content, you're probably not fully engaging your audience nearly as well as you could. So what's holding you back? What do you think's holding people back, Chris?
It boils down to 3 things: skills or knowledge, equipment, and time. And it's it's kind of interesting because when we were prepping for this for this webinar, we really took a deep dive in and looked at some of our challenges in the past and what we where we fell short. Not only where we fell short at the beginning. We even looked at it deeper for the members-only webinar that's coming up in a little while. But we really, it boils down to 3 things: skills, equipment, and time.
Right. Let's talk about skills, man.
Yeah.
I mean, let me tell you. I mean, I'm self-taught. I mean, I did not go to school for video. I did not learn video editing, in some sort of curriculum. I mean, I'm a gadget kind of person, and I enjoy kind of rolling up my sleeves and learning stuff. But I shudder to think the number of hours I spent developing the skills that it takes to do things the old-fashioned way. So we're talking the live streaming kind of video. So to, just even understand cameras and to understand editing software and what I can do and what I can't do and the different packages that I tried along the way, and then just the different layers of post-production processing that go into that, and then doing multicam shoots and figuring out how to get multiple cameras to synchronize so that you can make stuff a little more interesting than a single camera shot. I mean, I spent at least the last 6 years doing this. I mean, that's a heck of a learning curve.
Well, the interesting thing, Mark, is at the beginning you said you didn't go to school, which you really did. You went to the school of hard knocks, and you went to
Exactly. I got to get one of those T-shirts, the Hard Knock University. I know they're out there.
And the interesting thing is that there are some knocks about people in general who are self-taught. I know I've heard it. I've heard it all my life because it's the way I like to do things. I like to teach myself. But the fact of the matter is that when you teach yourself, you probably do end up spending more money and more time learning stuff. You also, just like John Nash in the movie A Beautiful Mind, when he talked about school and curriculum sometimes. How do you say, like diminishing or boxing you in, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that with stuff like this, it allows you to play, it allows you to find different things. Is it going to take you longer? Yeah. Is it going to, is it going to cost you more money in the end? Yeah, because you're probably going to buy things you didn't have to buy and make some mistakes. But
got a whole pile of that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But it's kind of like that's one of the things that we're going to talk about a little bit later on, why we're so passionate about helping people map, create, distribute great content, because we've been through the school of hard knocks, we've made all these mistakes, we've done all the research, and we can guide. Unlike a school curriculum where where they tell you a hard and fast way of doing it, we love to guide people and give them suggestions, but then let them be adults and make their own mind. So before I'm getting off on a little bit of a tangent there, but the fact of the matter is, when you're talking about skills, like you said, Mark, I mean, the old-fashioned way, you're looking at recording, editing, producing, knowing what hardware and software, you got to do the homework. It could take hundreds of hours, and it has, right?
Literally, yes. Honestly, it could take thousands of hours. We don't want to sound over the top, and so we're saying hundreds of hours. But I promise you, I have spent thousands of hours in the last 6 years. Just really kind of getting good at what I can do the old-fashioned way, and I still enjoy doing things the old-fashioned way. It's just hard to keep doing it the old-fashioned way once you discover the new and better way. And the skill learning curve that you have to kind of go through is such a barrier, though, that I think it's one of the huge answers of why people are not creating video, because they may see the benefits, they see the finished products that people put out there, they say, yeah, I need that, and then the minute you start kind of rolling up your sleeves to figure out how to do it, you also start to understand why people charge what they charge when you try to hire somebody to do it, because of all the skills, equipment, and time that it takes to kind of do this the right way. So it stops people, and that means it goes down to the bottom of the to-do list, right? Because you got other more expedient things that you can knock out, and so you say, hey, I'll come back to this creating video thing later, and months go by, and you've yet to kind of create your first video or be happy with anything you have created.
Exactly. And then when you look online and you see everything, you're talking multiple cameras, computer with enough power. I mean, even, forget about whether you need a webcam or a handy cam, so to speak. But, even if you're just using webcams, if you want to do multiple cams, you need a computer with enough power, you need the right lighting, wired microphone, backgrounds, professional level software, all this other stuff, all the equipment
Exactly.
that you need to do it the
Which
old-fashioned
is
way.
expensive, let me tell you. I mean, I spent a lot of money buying 3 cameras and upgrading the computer to about a $4,000 machine, and getting the software, and then back to the learning curve of learning how to use the higher-end software that can do multicam editing and deal with soundtracks and cleaning up sound and color correction, and I can go on and on. But you need the power in the computer, you need the power in the camera equipment. As you said, lighting is critical, audio is really critical. People's perception of the quality of a video has a lot to do with how well they can hear what's going on in that video. So you can spend a lot of time buying the wrong equipment and then upgrading it and all that good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And then, I mean, it's funny because we were talking about multiple cameras, and one of the things you didn't even bring in is that if you want to do stuff like we're doing, and you want to do it with, with handy cams and with actual, either high or higher level camcorder, so to speak, then you're talking about a switcher, you're talking about all this stuff that, you could easily dump 10, 20, 30 grand into creating a
sure.
studio. And then you also have the time, the learning time, the setup time, the operation time, the edit, producing, render time, upload time, distribution, all the other stuff. I mean, in the end, you're talking about, I think we sat down and calculated, and we came up with about 1 to 2 hours per minute of video shot. In other words, the time you're
honestly,
going to invest.
Yep, for sure.
I
mean, I've spent way more than that. I got to tell you, sometimes. I mean, it depends what you're trying to create, but absolutely, it's a good rule of thumb, to take to budget, and I under budget all the time, as Chris knows, when I still do a couple of things the old-fashioned way, and I start, I'll have that done, later this afternoon, and I, you can take an entire day to really get a multicam shot right, and it's sort of depressing at the end. You've produced this 2 or 3 minute video, and you might have spent the entire 8-hour day doing that. But that's just what it takes, to get it right.
Exactly, and that's the old way. So the beautiful part is that live stream is a game changer for creating video. Now, once again, and I guess here's the caveat I will say. Some people talk about live streaming video, and some people say, well, the quality isn't as good as if I shot it on a handy cam, and I can do different things. I'm going to tell you a secret. Later on, we're going to show you a little bit about how you can actually do better quality. We're testing things right now that we have that are currently in stealth mode that provide better quality. But in the end, and this is a conversation Mark, you and I have on a regular basis. In
Hmm.
the end, the weird thing about video is that the audio is really what's important to 98% of the people. So the point is that if you have video that's only, if you're familiar with technical lingo, 30 frames per second or 25 frames per second, 98% of the people are going to say, that looks fine, which actually it is a HD and it looks really good. But if you have
Hmm.
terrible audio, crackly and everything, you're going to have people tuning out very quickly, right, Mark?
Well, and I'll step back even a layer above that. I mean, to me, the thing that won me over, Chris, about doing things this way is that in the end, it's beyond the audio. I agree, but beyond the audio is the content itself. I mean, the fact is you have to focus on what it is you're trying to deliver. We're not trying to deliver Hollywood quality movie for the sake of the beauty and the art of the movie. We're trying to create an effective, efficient, easy way to create great content, to deliver great content that we know that you have in your head. You have expertise that you're using in your business as a coach, as a consultant, in your professional practice building. You have it in your head. The question is, how do you get it out of your head? How do you engage with your audience? And so even if you don't have the highest frame rate possible, and it is a little grainy, and even if your audio isn't perfect, if you've got a great message and you've got great, valuable information to convey to your audience, and they're going to consume it more easily because it's in a video format, then you got to do it. And so you got to remove all the barriers that we're talking about to get it done. And that's really what live streaming allows you to do, is to say, you know what, I'm going to remove that learning curve. I'm going to remove all that incredible, need to invest in equipment, because the platforms are now being elevated. Chris and I are creating a unique platform that achieves what we want it to achieve for you. And now you can do this. You can do this easily, effectively, efficiently, so that you just get out of your own way and start communicating and engaging with that audience. That's what the easier way is all about.
Yeah, and the beautiful part about live streaming and why it's a game changer starts off with the skills. I mean, it ends up being a much simpler thing to understand how to record, know the hardware and software. And you got to do some homework, yeah, but the time is not as bad. I mean, you're looking at tens of hours versus hundreds or thousands of hours,
Right. Absolutely.
because it's becoming so mainstream. And then as far as the equipment goes, the beautiful part is
You probably already have it.
yeah, exactly. And pardon me, my nose is just itching up a storm today. I don't know why. Does that mean I'm supposed to come into money? Wait a minute.
Doesn't that mean somebody's talking about you? I don't know. I'm not sure what that
That's
means.
the ears
Maybe
ringing.
it just means you have an itchy nose, Chris.
It could mean, or it could mean people are signing up right now for the Professional Practice Builder Society, because if everything went right below this video, they have the opportunity. But before we talk about that, let's keep going with the
Right.
equipment. So the good news
Well,
is,
look, but bottom line is you probably already have the equipment, or with some very minor upgrades, you could be having much better quality with things that are just easily, readily available on Amazon, that don't require a huge skill set to understand how to operate. Most of it is literally plug and play with a little bit of tutorial time to figure out how to get it set up. So you either already have it or could upgrade it, with what's built into your laptop right now. So it's pretty darn cool that whole set of barriers just kind of vanishes this way.
yeah, exactly. I mean, you're talking about a webcam, an internet connection, some lighting,
Yep.
which is fairly inexpensive, and then you got the software where you're looking at some free stuff like YouTube live events, Google Hangouts. You can go into the paid versions of things like WebEx and GoToMeeting or GoToWebinar. We're going to talk more about those in the members only area. But in the interest of time, we're going to touch on time here real quick. So the
Right.
beautiful part about this is the learning time, the setup, the operation time, the render time, the invitation, distribution. All of the stuff combined, you're looking at about 10 to 15 minutes per video of shoot, per video shot, per minute of video shot. I can damn dare
Right.
talk right. I'm a
You
public
can.
speaker.
They
I
learned
can
you good in
speak.
school, boy.
Yeah. So, versus the 1 to 2 hours per minute of video shot. So take that out exponentially and go, if you want to record a 60-minute video, if you want to record an hour video, 60 minutes, you're looking at a good week worth of work. When you're doing it the old way, in this way, looking at about let's see, 60 minutes times 10, a couple hours, something like that, 5 hours if
Well,
my math is right.
and that's why we're quite honestly calling this a game changer. I mean, it's a game changer for me. I gotta confess. I mean, I love the old-fashioned way. I mean, I really get
Yes,
into
you
it. I
do.
enjoy it. I enjoy the creative process that goes into that. I like post-production. I mean, most people hate it. I don't like how long it takes, but I get in there. I'm a little OCD when I get in there, and I get absorbed in the creativity of the task. But it's prohibitive. I can't do it. I mean, especially when we're trying to create content on a regular basis, which we practice what we preach, and we preach it quite often to our clients. I mean, we want to be producing something new on a weekly basis for all of our clients. Well, how do you do that without grinding to a halt? If it takes, as we said, at least 1 to 2 hours per minute of finished video the old-fashioned way, there's not enough hours in the day, so that only leaves you with charging exorbitant fees to be able to, to give people sticker shock when they hear, it's $1,000 per finished minute or something like that. I mean, that becomes a real barrier for people. We want to produce video content with as much ease and lack of pain as it takes to produce a blog post, and that's what we're doing for our clients on a weekly basis, right?
Yeah, exactly. And in fact, I'm going to flip it around, and our hope for you, whether you resonate with us or not, or whether you eventually join the society or not, when you join the society, you'll find some great things inside there, some great info products and everything else that you all get with your membership. You can see, if my guess is right, you should be seeing them below right now. But our hope for you is this, and we have about 10 minutes left of this public webinar. Before we get into the fastest and easiest way, I want to tell you this. Our hope for you is this, is when you're done watching this webinar, whatever direction you choose, you start to create content, because I'm sure we have coaches, we have speakers, we have teachers. I saw some of the people. In fact, I know some of my fellow John Maxwell team members actually joined. It was kind of nice to see. It was nice when we sent out the invite. I saw some names that I recognized. So hey Rick, how's it going? Thanks for joining in. We also saw Werner. Werner said he would be here. So thanks a lot, Werner. We look forward to.
You're not on top of a mountain.
Yeah, exactly. So here's the thing, that our hope for you, and the reason we wanted to go through this with you today, is that you too could start creating video content. So what we're going to do here in the last 9 minutes is, not screenshots, not actually walk you through on the back end, but give you a description of what we do for our clients, so that if you choose to, you can go out and implement exactly the same thing tomorrow, today. And if you find you have some challenges, we hope you consider joining the Professional Practice Builder Society, and coming on the inside and getting the coaching and the mentoring and everything from Mark and I. So here's the really short version. We use multiple we use multiple platforms, we use multiple feeds, and we utilize an executive producer. Now, what does that all mean? So we use, in order to produce this, we do use GoToMeeting, and we have GoToWebinar as well, where we do some GoToWebinars stuff as well. We use GoToMeeting so that Mark and I can talk before, then I bring Mark in, and the screenshot you're actually seeing of Mark is a live feed from GoToMeeting. Basically it's a screen capture we're getting from GoToMeeting.
And just to be super clear, I mean, Chris is hours away from me geographically right now, and we are meeting up in the virtual studio, and getting everything queued up, and then rocking and rolling here. So we don't have to travel, we don't have to be in the same location, we don't have to come to the studio. We each are remote.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's what I was going to say. Next is, you've got my camera, which is actually just a live feed. So I've got a Logitech C920. Let me look at the box. Yep, C920. For you Mac users, you probably want to look at the C910 or the C930, but they're great. They've got stereo mics. It's an awesome camera. Like Mark said, we're geographically dispersed. We're hours away from each other. So we're all feeding in. When we talk about the multiple feeds, next question is, people are probably saying, well, where are you grabbing it? Because we've never seen a background used like that in GoToMeeting or GoToWebinar. You're right. What we do is we take the feeds into a software called Wirecast. Wirecast allows us to have a professional production studio right on my laptop. I mean, my laptop's sitting, literally the production studio is sitting right next to me. For these episodes, I'm the executive producer at this point. I have a feeling we're going to grow big enough very soon that we're going to be looking for an executive producer and a production assistant, so keep that in mind. But anyway, so we bring all
Send us your resumes today.
yeah, exactly. So we feed everything into Wirecast. It allows us to change shots on the fly. That's how you saw the video at the beginning. Through Wirecast, we can add videos, we can add PowerPoint slides, we can add files, we can add a whole bunch of things. We can create different shots. It's the way you saw the different shots pop up. The beautiful thing about Wirecast is you can record locally plus stream it live out to the internet. So I'll tell you right now, and Mark, this is what I was hinting at earlier. Right now, I've got 2 separate versions of this recording locally, and I've got 4 separate streams headed out to the internet on 2 separate YouTube live events. And
Show off.
and using their backup server. So the point is that, and that's all with a Core i7. I mean, my laptop's a Core i7 quad core. It's about a year old Sony Vaio laptop. So the whole point is a good, you need a good powerful laptop. But this is the simplicity of what we've got. So we've got a couple of webcams. We've got GoToMeeting. By the way, the reason we use GoToMeeting, I'll tell you right now, we've tested other platforms, and this is the best quality.
Yes, we have.
This is the best. This is the best
platforms that shall remain nameless.
Yes, and this is the best audio quality. In the interest of full transparency and disclosure, yes, you can see I've got a green screen behind me, and yes, I keep trying to cover up the white because I forgot to turn my lights on today. So even the executive producer forgets things.
Because we got caught up talking before we went live. Go figure.
So here's the point, and I'm going to summarize this real quick, and then there is something I want you to do for us. So once again, multiple platforms using GoToMeeting, using YouTube live events, and using a piece of software called Wirecast to get everything out there. We've got multiple feeds. Mark's coming in through GoToMeeting via his webcam. I've got my webcam locally. We utilize an executive producer that can set up everything in Wirecast, add all the files and do all the switching and everything. And the beautiful part is, if you do this right, if you map out your content right, in the end, you can sit and create an hour of video, or even, we do some with clients that's about 45 minutes of video, 45 minutes to an hour, and they've created over 25 separate video clips within that hour if you structure your content right.
Say that one more time, Chris, because it's really important. In about a 45-minute span, we've created how many clips you figured out?
We've created approximately 25 clips.
Right. So that includes the main content and all of the marketing clips that are to promote that main content in a 45-minute span of your time as the client. That is game-changing efficiency. I mean, it's mind-boggling. I mean, because I know how many hours it took me to do that before. So
here's what I want you to do. I invite you to imagine how much more content you could have on the web if you did live streaming video. I want you to imagine you're the one client I just talked with yesterday who has content now that he walked into a restaurant and somebody saw his content. They asked him for every business card in his pocket because they were so enamored with the content he produced that they wanted to hand out his business cards for him. Imagine what that could do for your business. And if you'd like something like that, and if you'd like to know more about how we're going to do, how we do this, we're going to go into a deeper dive here in the teaching piece, the members only piece. You have 3 to 10, somewhere around there, minutes, depending on what your timer says on your screen right now, to jump in and join us in the members only webinar. There should be a button below this video. If you're not watching this video on our website, go to ppbsociety.com/introlive, INTROLIVE, and there will be a button there that you can actually join us inside the society. And the beautiful part is that if 3 people haven't joined already, because I haven't checked I won't check the emails until we start the members portion.
Don't crash the whole system by checking, Chris.
Yeah, exactly. So the first 3 people who sign up, we're going to give a free 1-month trial of the Professional Practice Builder Society, which includes the ability to attend all the members only events here locally in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, and online. It also gives you access to all the info products we've already created, which now we're closing in on $1,000.
It's getting to be a very big library. Yes.
Exactly. If you're not one of the first three, what we'll do for you, if you don't get, in other words, if you click on that button, when you click on that button, if you find that it says congratulations, you're one of the first three, then great, you got in. If it doesn't say that and you get taken to the page of, hey, it's the membership page sort of thing, it's
Hmm.
okay. We're going to give you a 30-day money back guarantee. So sign up today.
Absolutely.
It's $47 a month, very inexpensive, especially for a library of over $1,000 worth of approximately $1,000 worth of stuff. And if you don't like it, use us for the first. I'll say use us for the first 30 days.
That's
And
right, exactly.
if you don't like it,
Take us out for a test drive.
yeah.
And if you don't like it, we will give you a 100% money back, no questions asked guarantee. Hey, look, we've been working hard. We know what's in there, so we feel no risk in giving you the no risk offer. So take advantage.
Exactly. So we're headed up towards 11 o'clock.
Hmm.
Mark, is there any closing words that you'd like to say to all the people out there who are going to click on that button and join us in the Professional Practice Builders
Yeah,
Society?
there is something I want to highlight just because Chris is alluding to it all. But I mean, the fact is, what we do in the society, what you get as a member of the society, as Chris is saying, you get all that the info products and the content that's in there. We have a live event every month. We have the members only training every month, and more. But we teach you how to do for yourself what we do for our clients. And so, basically you can learn how to do everything we're talking about here. We call it map it, create it, distribute it. It's how to map out your content, how to know what you need to create for your ideal audience, how to actually create it in this incredibly effective, efficient, easy way, and then how to distribute it, how to get it out where it belongs on the web. All of that is what membership is all about, and it's about learning how to do that. So take advantage. It's never going to be as inexpensive as it is right now. I'll put it that way.
That's true. Hey, we're up against 11 o'clock, so thank you very much
Yep.
for joining, everyone. I see we still have some people online, which is great. As we wrap this up, I'm going to go check the emails. If you have any challenges, anything that's going on, if you can't get if the button's not working or what have you, if you have any challenges, info@ppbsociety.com is the email address. It's also on the website, so if you're out on ppbsociety.com, you should be able to find a way to get us to get in touch with us right away. I'll be checking my emails for the next few minutes as we get everything prepped for the members only webinar. Um,
Right. And
and
again, just to be super clear, we're rolling over right now from this into our members only webinar. You can join us right now by clicking that button and continue with us, because we're going to roll up our sleeves and get a lot deeper into this topic of how live stream video can be a total game changer in your content creation, in marketing yourself, and becoming powerfully visible on the web. So join us inside right now.
Yeah, exactly. And for those of you who've seen this before, this kind of gets the time where you see a little bit of the inside, where I start going completely crazy, and me and Mark just kind of joke around a little
This
bit.
is where Chris gets to be simultaneously the executive producer and the on-screen talent. So he's going to multitask, and we're going to watch him do it.
Well, yeah, for now you are, but come on, there we go. Okay, so there we go. So what I'm going to do real quick uh, is throw a slide back up in case you're still watching this and having any trouble. There is the email address, there is the phone number, and there is the website address if I spelled everything right. Yeah, I guess it looks like it did. I don't know, I've been having a lot of trouble with the manual spell check. So Mark, I'm actually going to go like kind of silent for a second, and I'm going to go
All right.
turn the light on. So if you want to talk to our, I was going to say I cannot hear you, but you can hear me. So as I turn my
Okay.
lights on, I can.
So Chris is turning the lights on so that he's not in the dark anymore.
Turn the second half. If you want to go ahead and say hi to our members, who I'm sure are joining, and talk a little bit so they don't have to hear me yelling from across the room, that'd probably be great.
I would if he would stop yelling, right? I mean, so he's across the room and he's still talking. So welcome, everyone. Come on inside. Get your cup of coffee ready. Get your sleeves rolled up. Get yourself into a comfy chair. We're going to be talking about why live streaming is, making your life so much easier if you want to create some video content, and we know you do, or you wouldn't be here. So we're gonna make a transition from the general kind of topic into the nitty-gritty a little bit here in terms of, and part of it's kind of looking at the journey we've gone through to get here, you know, why this is possible now, whereas it wasn't possible even that long ago. I mean, the technology and the platforms that are out there for us to all take advantage of are all so incredibly new, but it's just pretty cool that with a little bit of broadband and a little bit of a webcam and a little bit of this and that, you can actually put together all of the studio that you need and start creating great content on a regular basis. So we'll see if Chris has his lights on yet, or if he's back yet.
I was
not responding.
I was going to say,
There he is.
well, I saw you smiling, so I was kind of, well, I saw you smiling, so I kind of figured you were saying something, and something funny, something fun, I guess.
Well, you know, I'm always smiling. You know? Just a smiley kind of guy.
Okay, now that the lights are on, this will look a little bit better.
All right. Lights are good. Lights are very good for green screen, just so you know.
Yeah, how about it?
Green screen can make your life complicated.
There we go.
All right, how we doing, Mr. Producer Man?
Yeah, we should be good. It looks like I'm back to not being. Man, I'm telling you, Mark, you should have seen it. It was kind of.
I don't want to know. I just don't want to know.
Oh, sure you do.
I want it all to work.
Well, it was funny.
Don't spoil the magic for me, man.
Well, when you go back and watch it, you're gonna laugh because you're gonna see kind of to my right there was this kind of like.
Is there like a big glowing spot, you know, shimmering?
Yeah, actually, it'll be screen left. There'll be a glowing spot that was shimmering, and then like screen right. It was bizarre. It was not fun. So, okay.
Well, I once did a green screen shot, not realizing what was on the screen, and it made certain things completely transparent because they were picking up the green. So, you know, green screen is a pain in the neck.
Well, that was like, remember when I did that with the shirt? I kind of forgot that.
Yes, that happens too. That's how they shot the Invisible Man. You know, it's very cool stuff. But all right, let's get busy. Let's not banter our way here into no man's land. Let's talk live streaming.
Okay, so there we go. So just to let you know, I got a shot up about how to use live stream video to create content. So we've got our initial slides. So first of all, members, welcome.
Yep.
So we're going to dive deep into how to use live stream video to create content. And remember, for those of you, in fact, hold on a second, Mark. I still just have that slide up because you know, I got to go check the email to make sure we don't have any.
Make sure we don't have any technical login issues for people.
Yes, exactly. You know, so when are we getting the executive producer and the production assistant?
Send your resumes now.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, as Chris is checking the emails.
Well, the good news is
I'm hydrating.
I'm going to say the good news is we have somebody who's really intrigued about watching the show, which is good, but does not look like we have any technical issues, so we can jump right in.
All right.
And in fact, let me do one more thing. So if you're still I can tell you this: if you're still watching this on the public side, it's about to go dark for you.
It's about to go dark on your end unless you join us inside.
Yeah, unless you join us on the inside. Give me one more second here.